What is going on, everyone? This is Ryan with the Loth-Wolf Pack, and we are bringing you the 12th installment, I believe, now of the Loth-Wolf podcast. We've still cruising, guys. It's a nice little run that we're on. Today, we are joined by the full Loth-Wolf Pack. We have Chris, Bob, and Jim, and we have a special guest, the Sith Lord himself, Mr. Mark Garlitz. We'll get to you. I have plenty more intro and plenty more titles for you guys, but Chris, how are you doing tonight?
Hey, Ryan, how you doing? Doing pretty good. Just kind of getting back in the flow of the work week, but we're doing all right. Jim, how you doing?
I'm good, man. Yeah, after that 2-week break, since most of us are teachers, I felt like the week leading up to our current prime, the amount of hours that I spent on Destiny was extremely unhealthy. The amount of really bad decks I made in that time frame was awesome, though.
But we thought they were really good.
We were onto some beaters at the time.
Bob, how are you doing on this fine Tuesday night?
I'm good.
Can you just tell me what that was?
That's Babu Frick.
You know who that was. That was Babu Frick. I'm good, man. Ready to record Destiny again. I've been out for 2 episodes.
Again,
been busy with work.
No, cue it up. I need it.
Hang on.
It caught me too off guard, bro. I need to hear it again.
I know. I didn't tell anybody I was going to do that, but hold on. I'm loading it up right now. Here we go. Babu Frick stole the movie. So glad to be back in Destiny. Playing last week was a lot of fun. Going through all of Jim's weird decks, but was enlightening. We'll just say that.
And we, like I said earlier, we are joined by the Sith Lord himself. A lot of you guys that watch our videos, you've probably seen Mark kick some ass on stream with most likely Palpatine if it was any time in the last, 2 months or so. Mark, you've been in a ton of our videos, and I'm going to say this. Derek, if you're listening, you can send me some hate mail. But Mark, I am officially naming you the co-Roselle Prime champion. So I want to congratulate you on your shared victory with Derek.
Roselle. Or Pastimes.
Oh, not Roselle. I'm sorry. Chicago. Whatever. Chicago. So we just had the second Prime. It's in Pastimes and Niles. Mark was actually in the finals. It was a palp off. Mark, you can kind of tell your story if you want to, but before we get into the Prime results or anything like that, how are you doing on this Tuesday night?
I am also good. Same as everyone else, just recovering from the break and the exciting second place win on Saturday.
Co-win.
Second place
or co-win, whatever.
Second place asterisk win.
We'll call it a second chance. So overall, so we'll just jump into kind of our Prime experience here, and we can go into preparation. Jim, I'll let you handle that. But overall, I think the tournament was awesome. It was greatly ran. Ron has ran that Prime for this is the third year now of the actual Prime. And I think he just does a fantastic job as a TO and as a judge. Very accommodating. The prize pool is fantastic. Everybody in the top 8 walked away with, did you guys walk away with a box, Mark?
Half
a box. Okay. So half a box for everybody in the top 8. We got 6 packs for being in the top 16 plus all the regular support. But yeah, I don't know about you guys, Chris. I don't know what you thought, but I thought he was especially accommodating with our stream and all that. But did you have anything to add to kind of the event as a whole?
Oh yeah, definitely. Ron, hats off to Ron, the TO. Minimal downtime between rounds. He's all over the pairings, getting those results in. And I think there's only maybe one repair throughout the whole thing. There was one repair maybe later in the rounds, like round 6 or round 7. But other than that, it was perfect tournament. He was very accommodating with the stream stuff, obviously letting us stream and giving us access to that, and very accommodating. He kind of let us do whatever we want, really, whatever we wanted, as far as where we wanted to set up and choosing the table to be featured at the camera and all that kind of stuff. And like you said, with the prizes, they actually just threw in 2 spot glosses too, just to the prize pool, just for the heck of it.
That's awesome.
So
I didn't know that.
Definitely, kudos to the store and Ron and Pastimes and Niles. Great hosts and great tournament.
Bob, what did you think about the tournament? I heard you did really well, so I want to congratulate you.
Yeah, thanks. I went undefeated in the tournament, so that
the
was
only
pretty
one,
cool.
right?
Yeah, didn't win any, didn't lose any either though. So hey, you can't complain. But I tried staying a little active on the chat, communicating with everybody, trying to keep the energy up there. So it was good to watch you guys play. I think I saw the two matches I watched were George on stream twice. That was pretty cool to see one of our local guys get some action on the stream.
Yeah, I gotta butt in about that real quick. That was the weirdest randomness of all time. So round one, Ron and I decided just to feature table one on the camera, whatever it was. And then out of 42 people, coincidentally, George, one of our regular players, is on camera. He's on table one. After round one, Ron comes to me and says, hey, for round two, do you just want to go through all the deck lists and just pick some weird, if someone's playing something like off the wall, you can put it on stream. So I said, sure, that's fine. So I picked a guy named Todd. He was playing Chopper, Ezra, and
Ahsoka.
Yeah, Ahsoka, Chopper, and Ezra. And then he happened to be paired up against George in round two. So he was on there back to back out of a 42-person tournament when I was just picking randomly for the second round. So
I want to say every round had like one of our locals playing on stream. Mark was
that was really
Mark
weird.
Was on
right?
there. I was on there. Jim was on there. George was on there twice. I think maybe Claire. I don't know. It was strange that everybody.
Yeah, it was very odd.
Yeah,
we got a large pack.
Big pack, baby.
I guess, man. Yeah, but it was just that was such a weird coincidence. I kind of felt bad for the stream. It's like, well, what can I do? It's just you get to see George twice, but
give the
that was just
what they
probably
want.
the most random thing of all time. Yeah, I don't deny that.
People what they want. So, Chris, do you want to talk about your tournament success real quick before we jump to Mark and Jim?
Kind of speaking on the round one randomness, Mark and I got paired up round one, which is probably, obviously with any tournament, any teammates or, local store players getting paired up round one is the worst case scenario. Palp Mark, the Sith Lord himself, and then I was playing Iden Beckett. I'm sure Jim will get into the decision for him and I to play Iden Beckett in a little while. But long story short, it was a very, very close game. I did not beat Mark. He got me to start his run up to second place finish. And the rest of my day, I finished 1 and 5.
Hell yeah!
And then I dropped after round 6 to kind of just hang out and decompress a little bit and talk with Ron. But so before Jim kind of gets into the whole week leading up to the Prime, I was not prepared at all with that deck, and it definitely showed in the results. So, kids at home, make sure you practice with your deck and don't just think you can pick up a tier 1 deck and play it correctly, because obviously 1 and 5 in a Prime is pretty terrible.
It's inspiring.
So practice does make perfect.
I would totally
it's
agree.
Like this year you finished top 8 and then top 4 in the first and 2 primes last year. I feel like this where does this even out now? Like, are you just like
yeah, I feel like I'm probably somewhere in that top 16
yeah,
range
like you're like
with that
15th just made the cut.
Yeah, exactly. But besides me losing, I had a great time. Met a lot of cool people. A couple guys that actually kind of live down by me and Jim and Bob that don't play at Fair Game in Downers Grove or at Amazing Fantasy in Frankfurt. So I was able to connect with a couple people. So shout out to Aaron K and John B. I know John is from Bourbon area.
That was my first round. My first round opponent. He was a great guy.
Yeah, awesome. He was super nice. Yeah, Big Bacon, I think, Mr. Bacon himself. And then Aaron and his son Noah. Noah's actually on stream round 6. He was a mall guy.
That's the guy that I beat. Yeah.
Really?
That was Noah? The one that I beat in 4 minutes.
Okay. 4 minutes. But Aaron and his son, I guess, are from Minooka, I think. So Minooka or Plainfield area. So he's going to try to make it out to Frankfurt now after I kind of made some connections there. So, everyone was super friendly. A couple guys from Michigan I was kind of chatting with. And like I said, great environment, great tournament, super friendly. And it was a good day besides going.
Yeah, our scene is fantastic. Everybody that I played was just super nice. Just great conversations and stuff like that. And it's just always good to kind of all have a shared interest in a hobby and kind of come together and, not take it too seriously, but also have that competitive like flow going. Like no one was like a douchebag, it was just cool kind of hanging out and just catching up with everyone that I hadn't seen since last Prime. So before we get to the Sith Lord, Jim, do you want to kind of talk about, you were like the wizard of the pregame or the pre-Prime kind of preparation. You were leading the charge on all these wacky ass decks. And then you ended up going with Iden Beckett. So what were you testing? What were you kind of trying to do leading up to the Prime? And then how did you do in the Prime?
Okay. So just to rewind just a little bit, we did a big testing session at Casey's house on Monday, the Monday prior to the Prime. All of us were there, and Mark and Mark's buddy.
His name's Wes.
Wes.
His name's Wes.
For whatever. Yeah, I mean, yeah,
Our buddy.
he's our buddy, but him and Mark are very close. They test with each other all the time. So it was like a meeting.
Yeah,
it was a meeting
Wes.
of the minds, and the kind of lesson from the day was that if you're not running hard aggro, or you don't have a way to slow down Palpatine, you're going to lose to him. And so I know Chris and Bob and you were excited about the droid deck that you had made. And then after that day of testing, you said, oh, hell no, there's no way, because we're definitely going to run into Palp. And if this doesn't win, it's not going to be good. And then I was practicing my Qui-Gon Yoda deck, and because you can't remove Watto's dice, and you also need time for Qui-Gon to ramp up, you can't allow Palpatine to do that, and you just cannot kill fast enough. So after we kind of learned that the decks that we wanted to play were going to be trash ball decks in that matchup, on the drive home, all I could think about was shutting down Palpatine. And doing that, we actually came across a really fun deck that I would recommend anybody to try playing, because if you're playing just casually, or if you want to just know for a fact one of your buddies plays Big Palpatine and you want to,
you're not
and you want to
Palp,
just smash them, we as a team worked on a Palp 2 General Grievous, the Droid Army's Commander Grievous, in which you are discounting your big events with your damage sides, and you're playing fun cards like Mobilize and Snare and Decisive Blow, and you're dropping Mega Blasters, and you're kind of bursting, but at the same time controlling the other team's cards or activations, and your mind extractions and all that. And so we were having a lot of fun, and we built that deck, me, Bob, and Chris, and we tested it against the Big Palp, and we were like undefeated. We were like, oh, boys, we did it. Haha, we did it. And then, unfortunately, the next day, we were like, well, let's just against like Iden Beckett and Maul Mando. And I think we won like 0 of those games. So after we realized that it was only it was perfect against Palp, but lost to everything else, we were like, okay, there's no way we can play this deck. But I will say this. The time we had making that deck and the bonding that we had together as a team was kind of proved our creative juices, and kind of, I would say, it goes unnoticed because if it goes unplayed, but the level of communication we had and the thought process that went into that deck, I'll toot our own horn here, really felt like it was 4 elite players really creating something and trying to be out of the box. And I had a lot of fun doing that. And then, unfortunately, when we decided to pivot, you were going to pivot towards the Ewok route. And since me and Chris were like definitely on the let's not play something cool train, we were like, what if we did Ida and Callus instead and just went super aggro? And the thought at the time was, you don't need the yellow cards, you don't need the pulse cannons, you kind of just need to activate Focus Fire, Tactical Mastery, Resolve, and whatnot. And Callus gave us a higher percentage damage chance, plus 1 more health, and he's also a leader trooper. However, without Beckett's money generation, you just weren't able to play the upgrades and burst damage from your hand. And so that's what ultimately led to me saying, you know what? I've played Iden Beckett before when people were testing against it. I'm kind of comfortable with this style of deck. I'm gonna pivot to it, and so me and Chris both on the last minute decided to pivot towards it, thinking, hey, let's just show up, roll dice, try to kill people, and eat chips. But it didn't necessarily work out the way we wanted it to. However, I was on the cusp of making the top cut. I made some pretty poor decisions throughout the day in two of my games. I look back on it and I think I kind of lost them rather than the opponent beat me. But if you take out the negative stuff, that week leading up to the Prime win, lose, or whatever, wherever we finished was some of the most fun I've had in this game, to the point to where Bob and Chris separately, not even knowing, texted me and they were like, dude, I'm just so happy you're back into this game. We missed you. And I was like, you know what? This is all possible because the errata and the creativity juices were flowing. So when the game is good, this game is really fun. And then that's all I really have to say. You want to add anything?
Well, yeah, Jim, I will just say, I think you're kind of underselling yourself a little bit there as far as your performance. I mean, like you said, you were right there on the edge, and in that game against Derek, who was eventually the quote unquote, co-champion, round 3, I think it was on stream. I mean, you were right there. You were, a couple actions away from winning the game. So, that game goes one way or the other. Maybe you do make a push up there, and that's even with minimal practice with that specific deck, leading up to the event, like we kind of alluded to, as far as literally, it was probably 8 or 9 o'clock on Friday night, right? When we kind of finally locked it in and said, okay, we can't play Callus Iden. It just doesn't work. So, all right, we're playing Beckett. And so, hats off to you for taking that deck and having a respectable finish, even at the last minute audible there,
Thank you. I appreciate it. But I mean, I always thought it was like, just kind of talk when you hear when we've interviewed other people or you hear other people talk and they really credit their team for their success. And you kind of go, oh yeah, you still, players got to play, right? But at the same time, I can totally see how, if a team really does work on one deck, the level of cooperation and picking and choosing those flex spots and play testing as a team was outstanding. It's one of the first times we've ever done that, because usually Ryan's on some meta shit, Bob's on some droid shit, and me and Mena are on some off the wall craziness. And that was kind of the first time where we were all like working on the same thing. So it was pretty fun.
Yeah, it was kind of crazy how all those things. If Casey didn't have us over for that big stream, none of this would have happened, because we never really would have realized that droids didn't work. So, that kind of just led you to thinking about that Palp Darth Sidious deck that you had played on stream at that stream a couple games, I think, and then we just kind of took it from there, off of your general idea. But for anyone listening, I'm gonna post the deck list in here. It's fun. I think Ryan and I can speak for Ryan and Bob. When that deck was really, really fun to play. When it works and when you get them, your opponent literally can't do anything, especially in the Palpatine matchup. So,
yeah, and that's leading up to that event. It's something that I haven't done well thus far in my Destiny career, if you will. I don't like to play decks that I'm not entirely familiar with. And just kind of relinquishing control and like collaborating with the creative process was something that it was a first for me. And I, like Jim said, I thought it was amazing. Like I loved collabing with the 4 guys and like just saying, hey, let's do this, let's do that. What do you guys think? But yeah, overall it was great. But enough of us. Let's talk to the Sith Lord himself. So Mark, tell us about the run. Tell us about your deck choice. You've been on Palp for a while, but just go over kind of everything. How did your tournament go? What did you expect to see? And just overall, how did you think your deck performed?
Well, first, I'd like to also just say that Monday testing was very important to me. Like, it helped me prepare a lot, even though I destroyed most of you guys that day.
Oh, yeah.
But and then even playing on Friday was awesome, and it helped me get around the mental block I had when I brought Palp out of the Worlds. I was kind of down on him with the chopper droids destroying Palp like crazy. But yeah, so that was awesome. It was a fun day. But in terms of preparation for the Prime, I also like to shout out to Marilyn Manson. That was my pregame music. I was blasting him in the car. It was awesome. Really helped me get in the mood. But once I got there, I kind of had some good confidence with Palp, and since being in Chicago, you kind of know what other people bring, and I kind of thought not a lot of people would be on Palp, but then once I saw Derek was there, I was like, oh crap, maybe this is a little more popular than I thought, and sure enough, I ran into at least 3 Palp Wattos throughout the day, so obviously it was a huge deck, but I also ran into 3 Iden Beckett's, so you guys playtesting them was huge, and I kind of figured out how to withstand the rush. In terms of like the games, I know like game 1 was against Chris, and that was awesome. And he probably could have killed me. There was a really close second round where he had me, and I think he probably could have put me down if he would have power action sooner, but thankfully he didn't. And therefore I went on and went to the game 2. And I mean, the one thing I will say, a Pub Watto mirror match is the worst thing in the world. Those games destroy your mind. It's just so slow and so boring. You're both doing the same thing, and you pretty much cannot get any damage through. It is the worst feeling in the world, and I'm so glad I don't have to do that again because I am so sick of the mirror matchup.
Yeah, your round 4 against Derek was great when you guys went 25 minutes overtime.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah,
that was fun. That was fun for all of us too. Yeah.
Mark, I have a question for you. In the testing process, since you got a lot of reps and you knew you were going to see Iden Beckett and you knew its capabilities of bursting Palp down by turn 2, what did you change about your play style that you thought gave you the edge over the Iden Beckett matchup, and who did you target first?
Thanks to the playtesting, I saw that Iden was huge with that 2 focus, because that can just like one move and then all of a sudden you're getting like 6-8 damage on Palp. So I think initially when I played Ryan on TTS, I was started going after Toby, and that's when I kept losing. And then once I switched to Iden, I felt like I had a little more confidence in beating that deck. And also with our playtesting, I did have the Pulse Cannon in the deck, and I felt like I wanted another cheap upgrade to give Palp more health, so I switched that out with another Neiman Training, little 1-cost upgrade, and I felt like I need to get a lot of those 1-cost upgrades first round to increase his health, just to withstand that little storm that happens, and then I could back to and then Fatal Blow and then take it for the win.
In my opinion, that Neiman Training card might be the unsung hero, and I didn't think about it until you had brought it up to me when you said, if I hit the Neiman Training special, I essentially know that I have a Sarasu special or any other special that I need, since it does let you flip a dice and you get to special chain. So I think, in my opinion, you're one of the best Palp players that I know. You've played him like crazy, and so you making those little adjustments, that's the difference between like Chris and I said, like we kind of gut shot a deck that we had minimal reps with. Those little intricacies that you learn through playtesting, that's like a great call on your end. In my opinion, I think something that separates you from the average player.
Yeah, I mean,
take him out to dinner.
I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah.
Jeez.
But yeah, I have been stuck on Palp since like Convergence, and like I just felt really confident in it, and I do believe practice and confidence in something is what you need to win or excel at anything in life. So it did feel good going in there with that much confidence and readiness in that deck.
Well, you know what else, Mark? If I could jump in real quick. So Mark, how you said you've been on Palp for a long time, which we all know. But, even in the times when maybe he wasn't the best deck, you still repped it and you still really, really tried to make it something. And then, coincidentally, just with this balance of the force pushing the meta the way it is, now you're in a position now where Palpatine is the best deck, and all of your hard work now really has paid off, and pushed you to this kind of awesome finish throughout an entire day. You know what I mean? So,
Oh yeah, it seemed like the Sith Lords kind of looked down upon me and said, "We're gonna give it to you."
yeah, but it's kind of just it's just like I'm not sure what I'm trying to say, but all your hard work was sticking with them, and not giving up on them, and just kind of always having that in your back pocket throughout the entire time since Convergence, which seems about like 5 years at this point since Convergence came out, but. Yeah, so hats off to you for always sticking with your blue villain and having a play style of a deck and really, as Jim said, honing in and mastering that kind of style of play.
This is the friendliest shit we've ever done. Like,
I'm about to say something. I'm about to say something mean now.
We got to go back to rip on Bob. Like, what is this nonsense?
No, hold on. So now,
Yeah.
can I was going to say thing first to kill the happiness?
Go ahead.
All right, Mark. You said you hated playing the mirror match. Now you know how we all feel when you got a million stupid dice out there and you can literally do anything that you need to do to turn sides and or just put out more upgrades for free. It's the most mind-numbingly like you said, it's exhausting. By the time you figured out what the Palp player is going to do or wants to do, you've completely forgot about what you want to do because there's a million things that
I have 22 health, 3 shields, and I just healed 5. Like, good luck.
For those of you guys looking to, Mark did a phenomenal write-up on the Star Wars DB. It was actually one of the top two articles on there, or top 2 deck lists. Yeah, I was going to say, it's top 2, the Chicago, Illinois really Prime at Pastimes. I mean, phenomenal write-up. You give a lot of credit to a lot of people. I mean, I can pretty much it's exciting to read through what's going to happen next round, because I didn't watch the stream and I wasn't there. So I'm like, oh man, what's he going to do in the top 4 against Isaiah? I mean, it's just crazy. Like,
Isaiah's the douche that beat me. By douche, I mean really nice guy that I had a great time with.
But it was a very articulately written article. And so shout out to you for that. And to kind of jump off of what Chris was saying, how, Mark, it's awesome that you play who you want to play. And like Jim plays who he wants to play with Qui-Gon, and Qui-Gon's finally a thing. And Ryan's finally playing the Ewoks that he wants to play because he loves the Ewoks.
Yeah, but I get made fun of. Everyone else, Mark's a courageous person playing this.
No, Mark is not courageous. You are not courageous either.
Nobody likes Ewoks.
I get
Ewoks.
yelled
That's
at
the thing.
by everybody.
I'm poking fun at you for that.
Yeah, Jesus, you guys, this is double standards. So
Mark, what was your loss in Swiss? Did you have a loss?
He lost to Derek.
Oh yeah, okay.
And the only reason I lost was because I thought the Force Wave dice looked like Force Jump, so I thought he had 2 Force Jumps on the table, and I was like, okay, I'll just claim and move on, and then.
That was the 50-minute or the hour match. So you guys are the finals against Derek, obviously. If you guys want to check out his other rounds, check up the write-up on the DB. So you are an expectant father. We've told you, but now publicly, congratulations. Thank you. So that played into your decision. So you knew you weren't going to go to Worlds and you didn't want to play. You actually beat Derek in another hour-long round, the game 1 of 3. You beat him in an hour. And then you guys just kind of decided, you knew you weren't going to be able to go. So you just decided to give him all the credit, or not the credit, but I guess the mat and the world seat. And what did you end up with?
I got the Maul spot gloss from Legacies.
Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. So I got all the big blue villains.
Yeah, that was something that Ron and the store just decided to throw into the pool, like I mentioned before. So pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, congratulations on the run, Mark. Like I said, guys listening, go check out that article if you want to see what deck he played. Now, looking at that, going forward, are you going to change anything, or do you like those 30 cards?
I mean, obviously, I'm hoping Covert Missions gives me some more blue abilities, and then I could determine if I want to switch some things up. But in terms of this specific deck for like this current meta, I think I might take out Mysteries of the Force and just.
You mean you never got it
throw
off?
In another ability
with all those dice?
In theory, I could have got it off a couple times, but it was mostly in there for the mill matchup. In case I were to lose abilities, I have a way of getting them back. But apparently Mill's dead because no one even brought Mill.
I know. I ran into it round 1.
I saw a guy on Yoda Leia.
which was that's the guy that I played round 1, which for him was the worst possible
There was
matchup to
also-
run into. So I felt bad, but
Sorry.
that was Bacon.
Oh,
so
there
he
was
a
also
great guy.
a Lor Santeca in the room somewhere too.
Yeah, I saw him finish top in like Georgia, so I thought maybe Lor Santeca would be showing up.
That was one of the decks I
I
was
didn't
testing. It's just
I love
wonky.
Laura Santeca. Not the actual character, but
The guy who's on this.
Right. All right.
not the guy that's in the movie for 35 seconds.
All right. So
They give more health than Ahsoka.
I'm not gonna bore you guys with my story. I went 4-3 with an asterisk, and I played Ewoks. I played Ewoks. I finished 10th, so I just missed the top 8. I'll send Chris my deck list if you guys want to check out that list. I think it's strong and it's really good into Palp, even though I lost. I was 1-1 against Palp. I lost to Derek, who somehow was like 7-1 against Ewoks, which is psychotic. But
Instead, it was all about that force wave, baby.
yeah, he didn't even get it down to me. He just beat me. He force stormed me to death. But yeah, I'll have Chris post my list. It's fun. It's gonna piss a lot of your friends off, which is great. You just have to make sure that if you're gonna get made fun of, as you all have heard this probably last few weeks, and on stream when KC plays against me. I think the quote is Diceless characters just ruin the game. But I would give them a shot because I think they're good. They're going to be good in the meta. But yeah, play the Fuzzy Bears.
Yeah.
So moving on, we had a spoiler article drop with some of the best cards I think that we're going to get this set. So we're going to go over that. I know we've been talking for a while here, so we're going to try and be quick about some of these. But we'll get Bob talking a little bit, and we'll see how Mark feels about heroes getting some support, since only Pong Krell is the villain that we're here.
The rule of 2.
Yeah, the rule of 2 is pretty cool. So Pong Krell is a deadly imposter, and we get Pong Krell's lightsaber. So in my opinion, I think Krell's lightsaber is going to see more play than Krell himself. But we'll see. So, Bob, why don't you take us down Pong Krell and his lightsaber? Well, did you get the link open, Bob? I just want to make sure.
I have the link.
Okay,
Don't worry.
just want to make sure. So, why don't you take us down Krell and his lightsaber, and then let's see what you think about each one of these.
Yeah, so Pong Krell, Deadly Imposter, 11 health. He is 12 and 15 for Elite. He's got a 1 sticks, 2 sticks, 1 focus, 1 discard, 1 resource, and a blank. And interestingly enough, he's a villain character. However, he is also a Jedi leader, because those of you who watched Clone Wars, if you remember Pong Krell, he was the reckless Jedi who would just pretty much hurt everybody else and didn't really care. So the cool thing about him too is that you can include up to 4 different blue hero cards in your deck. And after you activate this character, you may place a hero card in any player's discard pile on the bottom of their deck, then deal 1 damage to a character. I'm a sucker for times when you can get villain cards in hero decks and hero cards in villain decks. I'm a huge sucker for that. I think that that's how you find like really, I don't want to say broken, but like you find unique strategies and unique twists into the game that maybe the designers didn't think of. So I'm very curious to see what kind of hero cards you can put with Pong Krell.
Jedi Mind
to
Trick.
try and help.
Yeah, but you have to
Yeah,
spot
that's a
Jedi.
good one.
He is a Jedi.
He is
Holy!
a Jedi,
Oh my
which
god!
is really cool. That's really cool, right? So yeah, like I said, I don't know. I mean, you'll have to play and like kind of like play around with that to see what you can get. But that's I don't know. 15 points isn't ridiculous. I mean, you could definitely pair him with a bunch of different people.
Yeah, he's a little too expensive for me. His ability's cool. The only problem is you have to have 4 different blue cards. Like it can't be the same ones. So you have to run 4 different things. But yeah, he'll be fun. I don't know if he'll be competitive.
Yeah, but it's something.
Good
Yeah, it's
draft.
cool. Yeah, he'll be good in draft for sure. That's a good
cool
call.
for deck names as well. When your name is Pong.
Yeah, that's a good call, Mark, because you automatically get to include hero cards. So now you're just doing a damage for.
Yeah.
You can have like half your deck as hero cards.
That's a really good point.
I think his
do you want me to
his lightsaber's good. Yeah, go ahead, Bob.
I don't know. I mean, so Pong Krell's lightsaber is the 3 cost, 2 sticks plus 2 sticks, 1 shield, 1 resource, and a special for $1 and a blank. And the special is deal 2 damage to up to 2 characters. There is a power action that you can spot Pong Krell or spend 1 resource to roll a set-aside copy of this die into your pool. set that dice aside after it's resolved or removed. I guess that ability, the power action's worthwhile, but I mean, do you think you'll ever resolve that special for $1?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if you're maybe playing the Ewoks or like a very like 3 wide or something like that, it would be worthwhile. But I mean, to pay 3 for the saber and then maybe pay a resource to like if you're not paying or if you're not playing Pong.
Here we
you have to
go.
pay
Here we
$1.
go.
I know I'm struggling. If you're not spotting Pong, then you have to pay $1 for to roll it in. Then you got to pay another $1 for the special. I mean, I feel like the amount of resources it would take to do what you want to do with these 2 dice is going to add up very quickly.
Yeah, three costs is kind of steep. I agree.
I think, kind of looking at Maul's lightsaber as an example, I think they're really being cautious now with these things that let you get the die in again a little bit, like making it, if you don't spot Pong, as Bob was saying, you got to spend $1 to get it in. Plus, I think if that special didn't have $1 on it, if you could get that in potentially twice, I mean, that's like a Maul
That'd be
power
awesome.
action on a die, basically,
PAL players would figure out a way to get that.
Yeah, but at what point though? Like you're protecting. I know what you're saying, Chris, and I completely agree.
Mhm.
But now you're rendering this card basically useless because
Yeah, right. I just think,
It's like-
since it's not like Darth Vader, so I think they're just kind of making it a little bit more neutered, like
Yeah,
nothing
makes
super
sense.
crazy, but thematically, I think it's really sweet how it's like, he's got the 2 sabers and he's, Maul power action and chopping 2 dudes with 2 sabers. And that art on that lightsaber is like one of the most awesome pictures I've
it's
seen.
fresh. I
is very cool.
love
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Sith Lord, what do you think about the new acquiring or the new acquaintance to the dark side?
I mean, in terms of the character, I kind of like him. The ping for Pong is pretty good. I like the
Pink for Pong. Well, I like that.
1 damage going on.
Ping pong. I told you people are gonna use it as a deck name, bro. Ping pong. Ping pong Kong.
Whoa.
In terms of his lightsaber, that I don't see any reason to play that. I mean, rolling that die in by itself, you got a modified side and a pay for side, so you're gonna be spending $1 to maybe spend another $1 to resolve it, and then roll it back in. I don't think that's worth all the money. That most of the time you're pretty hard to find in most decks.
Yeah, it's good point. All right, moving on. What do we think about Quad Slam here? 2-cost event. Choose up to 4 characters and remove 1 character die belonging to each of them. I haven't sat down from a 4 wide in a while. I don't know.
Wait,
It's
I don't even see the card.
it's a really, really cool card. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's up to 4, so you could technically resolve or remove 2 dice or 3 dice, but
Yeah, it's one of those cards like, when we make it to, 5 years down the road and then you're like in Infinite and then something wacky like this, like, oh, I know, let's use the Quad Slam. And it's like the only card in existence that does this, which is, I mean, that's a cool thing. I'm cool with that.
yeah, it's fine that it exists, but
Yeah.
it's not going to be in a deck anytime soon.
I mean, maybe they're alluding to something that might be relevant. I really don't know, but I think it's more of a flavor on Pong himself than it is about, anything related
Sure.
to the meta, but I think it's cool.
Yeah.
I could only see
Alrighty.
it in draft or against like the Spectre lineup.
Yeah, right. Like
Mm.
now that we have Kanan spoiled, there's going to be
Yeah, I guess
Spectres
Mark, I
against
guess you're right. It could be maybe a 3 die removal for 2 money.
I was gonna say the
You know?
3 is worthwhile.
but that person, all 3 of them, like if it's 2 for 2, it's not worth it, but it has to be 3.
Right.
And I feel like that's such a rare, like how often has that come up recently?
Right. Well, I mean, if potentially the Spectre deck has some kind of like action sheet stuff where they're trying to get all
Sure.
3 guys in the pool, maybe that could be a meta call. We'll see.
Yeah.
It's a good
Or
point,
against, like,
Mark.
Aside from the Claudites and Jawas, are there ever any times when you can have 4 character dice in the pool?
Gungans.
Okay,
Oh, yeah.
or battle droids too. Actually.
Yeah, all
Yeah.
like the shitty guys.
I'm just thinking.
No.
Yeah, okay.
Phasma.
Yeah, but it has to be characters. You have to spot the characters.
Oh, it's not like the set aside.
Choose up to 4
I can't see
characters.
the
Yeah.
card.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
You click the link, James.
What? Oh, I see it now.
He just scrolls and looks at the pictures. He doesn't click any of the
I
links.
don't even-
There's also words in the article.
That's how
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
when I read books as a kid, I just looked at the pictures.
Yeah, right.
I see it now.
All right. So luckily,
What do we got?
Jim? Do you know Anakin? Do you see Anakin Skywalker's lightsaber?
He's got the poster
Okay,
on his.
because
on
I'm
his
gonna
wall, probably.
forward this one to you here. We know you're excited about it. Tell us why you're excited about it. Tell us what the card does. I think
this is the
thing
best
is.
saber in the game, bro.
I'm very
I'm not
attracted to
even
this
fun.
lightsaber.
This is the best saber in the game. 2-stick plus 2-stick, 2 shield. Are you kidding me? That's what Jimmy needs. And you give $1 and a blank, and then it's a redeployer. Oh, let's go! Like you're not playing Dagger Mortis over this thing. Like I mean, you're putting it in your deck still, but like this thing, that 2 shield side, ooh, you love it. And discard this upgrade from play if you control Ray's lightsaber, obvi, same saber. And after you play this upgrade, give a character you don't control 1 shield, then give a character 2 shields. This thing has got Qui-Gon spice written all over it. It also is great. I could see this being great in people that run the Yoda reset stuff, the big Yoda, the with all the shields, and Bail, yeah, that stuff.
Bail.
And then obviously for Anakin when he comes out, this is just a great card. I mean, for $3, it's everything you want and more. Plus, it's a redeploy, and the fact that I believe you told me, Ryan, if you had Rays on the table, you could overwrite into this.
I don't.
You can
think
over.
you can.
Yes, you can. You can over. It's been confirmed. You can overwrite both ways
because it's not titled the same card. Correct.
It's not the same card.
Yeah.
So you can
But
overwrite Rays.
But don't you have to reveal the upgrade you're going to play first, and then you?
No, it's the way that replacing an upgrade is different than checking for uniqueness. So because Rays and Anakins are technically they're not the same card, you can do it. Like you can't overwrite an Anakin's for an Anakin's because technically then you have 2 instances of the same card being on the table at the same time. So it's just the way that it works, but it got confirmed by the head judge. So
Okay,
I don't have to go. I don't have to go over the rules,
So
but
that's that alone right there. People are going to include one of each in their deck, and they both have redeploy. And obviously, this one comes with higher upside. But I mean, you just got a lot of ways to get this upgrade out on the table. It's great for the heroes who constantly lose to villain decks all the time. So hopefully, a card like this that's got a lot of gas to it. Can improve the blue hero decks. I think it will.
You scared, Garlets?
Not at all. He could use all those shields all he wants.
Yeah. You're not scared now, and then
Fatal blow is still a thing.
Yeah. Until someday they decide to go. Obi-Wan Ardent Avengers 18 points, and so is this Palpatine we made. I think we really messed up here, boys. So eventually you got to think that your days are counting down and my days are counting up, baby.
Whoa, you got to love the art on that.
Jim,
card
you like
too.
that? Dude, I love
dude,
it.
a waist type pick of Anakin. A waist type pick of Anakin.
I love
saber.
Yeah, it looks like, and it's right in the spot. It's right in the spot.
Once that dies, give me the balls pick.
Take this die away, and it looks like he's giving it to you with his sword.
Yeah, I play Anakin Skywalker's shaft for 3.
They went all out on the Anakin character card, and then they went like backdoor. Like they didn't really.
Dude,
get
I'm a fan of the art. I don't even care.
Yeah. It would be really cool though, because it looks like, if we're being honest, it looks like the art on Tatooine when he slaughters all those
Yeah,
it's
a bunch of sand people.
It'd be really cool if this card also said like spot this saber to kill a youngling or.
Alrighty, any parting thoughts on Anakin Saber? I agree, Jim. I think this is potentially the best blue upgrade in the game now. Like I think it's insane. Any other parting thoughts, fellas, before I kick it over to Chris with Kanan Jarrus?
It's really good. I don't know about the best blue upgrade in the game, but it's really good.
What's better, Bob?
I mean, is Neiman not better?
Yeah, Neiman's better.
No, not if you're not for damage purposes. They're different.
They're different cards
synergies,
for
yeah,
different deck
absolutely.
or play
But
styles.
Neiman's pretty.
as far
For Qui-Gon,
It's one of the best
yes, as far as
lightsabers.
swords go, it's one
yeah,
of the best swords in the game.
I'll give you that.
I misspoke.
I give you that.
Thank you for putting me in my place. I deserved it. Asterisk. Chris, kick us off with Kanan Jarrus. Let's talk about him and his lightsaber.
Kanan Jarrus, he is now the Jedi Exile. He is 9 points and 12 points. Character Jedi Spectre. Spicy subtype, 9 health. He says, this character's point value is decreased by 1 if your team has another Spectre. So he's basically 8 and 11. After you activate this character, you may choose a symbol and a die. Then an opponent turns that die to a side not showing the chosen symbol. 1 melee, 2 melee, 1 discard, 1 shield, 1 resource, and a blank. So seeing the power of R2-D2 in the past Spark of Hope season, I'm pretty certain that he's probably really, really, really good. Being able to turn your opponent's die to a non-damage side every time he activates seems like a really good thing to do. So that's just my hot take.
Dude, and like with Spectre Cell, I know it doesn't work that way, but this is potentially a 1 die for 7.
Oh, right. Yeah, with the extra point.
If you play this with another Spectre, he's an 8, and then if you play it with Spectre Cell, he's 7 points for 1 die.
For sure. So I guess before we continue, we should just mention the lightsaber. So 3 cost, unique, Kanan Jarrus' lightsaber. After an opponent's die is turned, you may turn this die to any side. So after either, it doesn't necessarily have to be off the Kanan trigger. The opponent could focus something on their own, and you can still turn it from that trigger. Then, if this upgrade is on Kanan Jarrus, you may exhaust the lightsaber to turn one of his character dice to any side. So there's a lot of built-in turning and focusing here between Kanan and his lightsaber. So I think in games when you are able to get the lightsaber on Kanan,
read the lightsaber sides. Read the lightsaber sides.
2 melee, 3 melee for $1, plus 3 melee, 1 shield, plus 2 shield, and a blank. So the plus 2 shield is kind of an odd one. It's like almost a blank sometimes, depending on how your character lineup works out. But like I was saying before, in games when you can get the lightsaber down early on Kanan, that's just a lot of action to flip things the way you want them to. So I think it's pretty good.
I think it's potentially just extremely busted. I mean, we were talking about like if your opponent rolls out and has anything and you have an action sheet in your hand, you can play the action sheet on Kanan with his lightsaber for an automatic 5 damage, and you're unfocusing whatever your opponent just did.
That's pretty insane. Yeah.
It's automatically unrespondable 5 damage that your opponent can do nothing about. And you just fixed a die against you as well.
Yeah, it seems really, really potentially busted. So like you were saying,
and like to go off your point with the plus 2 side, the shields, I think it's probably only good with Kanan. So like his saber, I think is going to see play all over the place. Like you don't need his saber on him in order for this to be good. But I think the plus 2 shield side is probably only good in circumstances where you have an action sheet and it's on Kanan and you can pair it automatically with his shield.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Sure.
So like you're trying to save somebody instead of killing the opponent, which I don't know why you're just not doing 5 anyway, but there can be some niche circumstances where you need the 3 shields.
Well, I guess thinking about that, as Jim mentioned before, it seems like this lightsaber slots pretty well into a Qui-Gon deck or the Yoda Mystical Mentor reset deck as well. So,
dude, you can just get 6 shields off the rip.
It's pretty nuts. So
that's insane.
But something that I've been excited about that I kind of talked to you guys about briefly was, with Kanan's lightsaber and Anakin's lightsaber, that just gives 2 more tools for Hero to mess around with for Built to Last. So I think it's going to be pretty cool to kind of explore that card one more time before it gets rotated out.
He's only 12 points. He himself could go with Mystical Mentor Yoda.
Oh, wow. That's true.
And then I know it's non-Spectre stuff.
He goes with Palp too.
You go with Palp. Yeah.
I know it's non-Spectre stuff, but 2 Jedis, and like you said, this saber could generate a lot of shields, so that would be kind of hard to kill.
You can also pair with
I think
Obi-Wan Ardent Avenger for you, Jim.
Oh, not good enough.
Bob, what do you think about Kanan? You're a Rebels guy.
I mean, I love the Spectre stuff. I can't wait to get the Spectre decks put together. I mean, with his ability being allowing him to decrease his own cost by 1. I mean, you can get an elite Kanan for 10.
It's insane. Satine.
Yeah. So why don't we get the Sith Lord in here for the last?
Yeah, Mark,
last
tell us
card
about one of the coolest art cards that we've ever seen.
Well, first off, aren't there 2 more cards?
Well,
Yeah.
There are
Where?
2.
2.
No, we
Jedi
already
Trials.
talked about Jedi Trials was spoiled many, many moons ago.
Did we do Jedi?
Oh, crap. Okay, cool.
Oh,
Then I will
just
gladly talk
joking.
about the
Jesus,
greatest card.
doing
in the
my
world.
hosting job. Come on, man.
The greatest card in the world.
So we got Rule of Two. It's a plot for free, 0 points. If you do not control exactly 2 characters, one that is a Sith and the other that is an apprentice, set this plot aside and deal 1 indirect damage to yourself. But if you do have both those characters, it has an action. If you have exactly 1 character die in your pool, exhaust this plot to resolve it, increasing its value by
Pretty
1.
good.
So, I mean, there are just so many possibilities. I've looked at some. I'm excited to play this. Like, some of my favorite possibilities we got are Allies of Necessity's Dooku and the starter Kylo. You get both of those in there.
Nice.
Wow.
Let the fun happen.
Damn.
Another cool one that I like is the Elite Kylo Bound by the Force. And then single die Dooku from Way of the Force. You could roll in Dooku, automatically spin it to the 2, and just leave it there. And then if he doesn't remove it, all you gotta do is tap the Rule of 2 and get 3 damage out.
Jesus, this guy's
Because it's a single.
Single
the
Dooku.
dark side just
I
flows
see.
through Garlets. Like, look at that, just shitting out ideas like on the
Dude,
spot.
Maul looks so cool
That's
in this card.
I like it.
Yeah, he's awesome. This is a really cool card.
It is. I mean, there's just so much fun I think I could have with it. I hope other villain-heavy people can just have fun with it, but I don't know if it's really meta, but
Yeah.
I think it'll just be fun.
So that's what I was going to say. You know what the thing I like about this card the most is it pushes people towards theme. And that's like, I know when we go to the tournament where we're testing Ewoks and we're testing all this stuff, but you know, it's nice. Like when we were kind of in that lull, my favorite thing that we did was we said, you know what, let's all just play some crappy theme deck that you really want to play. And we all did. And it was a great time. Like it was just sitting across and saying, you know, this is how Destiny should be. And no one's doing anything broken, but it's still fun. And I think this card, who knows, this could be really good, especially with Darth Bane coming out. Who knows if he gets like an apprentice partner. This could be like a meta card. We don't know that. But as far as right now, it's just cool.
Didn't Darth Bane invent the Rule of 2?
He did. He established the Rule of 2. So that's even more thematic. But yeah, it's just cool to get like theme stuff like this going. I don't know. I really like it.
It's going to be awesome. I mean, if they come out with like a cheap apprentice for even Bane or even Vader, I mean, possibilities are endless. So much damage. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Alrighty. So anybody have any parting thoughts before we get to Idiot's Array?
I guess so. We're recording this on January 7th. So at the end of this week, Matt Holland has said they're going to spoil the whole set, you know, given another delay until February. So it's going to be really interesting to see how, you know, this is probably the first time ever when everyone's going to have 2, 3, maybe even 4 weeks to kind of brew up ideas before the cards are even released, you know? So I think on week 1 of Covert Mission, it's going to be, you know, all guns blazing. Everyone's going to have all these awesome ideas, and I think it's going to be pretty fun.
Yeah, I agree. So with that, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for your favorite game show, hosted by none other than Jim Welsh. We have Idiot Array. Jim, take it on.
All right, dude, that's my new favorite thing.
It's the best.
It's like, you know how in like hip hop they always play the triple horn. Wah, wah, wah. Whenever we're getting hyped, Bob's gonna drop that. Hey, I love that. All right, so because we have Master Sith Lord here, I figured we'll do a villain character quiz. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go in the order of how you finished at the Prime. So Mark will be first, Ryan second.
Okay.
I obviously not playing. Chris will be third, and then Bob, since he did not even attend, will go last. And
Undefeated.
Bob should
Wow.
Yeah.
I somehow don't have to go last. That's incredible.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let you pick a color when I call your name. And then I'm going to read the die sides of a character to you. And you're going to tell me what character you think I am just talking about. And keep in mind, they are all villains. And you get to choose the color. So the ball is kind of in your court. So Mark, why don't you start us off? What color would you like?
You got black?
Well, unless you have some cards I don't have, I do not.
Blue.
All right, blue. Sounds good to me. All right, ready. The die side reads 1 melee, 2 melee, 1 discard, 1 resource, special, blank. Who am I describing?
Can I get what the special does or no?
So if I tell you that, it will be easy. So
Is this just standard or is this infinite?
Standard. Instead, I will tell you their elite point cost. Does that sound good, or is that too easy?
Sounds good.
That's fair.
Okay. So the die side again is 1 stick, 2 stick, 1 discard, 1 resource, special, blank, and their elite point cost is 16.
Oh.
Oh,
Daddy knows it.
I thought I knew it for a second.
Get him out.
I got nothing.
I got it.
All right. Okay. Well, then there's gonna be no stealing.
What?
In this game.
Why?
Yeah, because you get to pick your own color. So
It's the fifth
you
brother.
worry
Give me a
about
point.
it. It is the fifth brother, though. That could be a tiebreaker point.
God.
That could be a tiebreaker point.
It's interesting. Kylo actually has the same size, but he's 15 points. If you didn't give away the point cost, it could have been
Nice.
Kylo.
So the point cost was important. All right, Ryan, you go second. Choose your color, please.
Red.
Red. Okay, I like that. All right, Ryan. The die side reads 1 ranged, 2 ranged, 2 indirect, 1 disrupt, 1 resource, blank. Elite point cost is 13.
13.
Yes.
Gideon Hask.
That is correct. So
Oh,
Ryan,
nice.
nice job.
Wow.
Bob, every time somebody gets one right, I want to hear Babu.
Oh yeah, okay, I'll do
That
that.
is correct. We are now moving on to Chris. That's the best. Chris, select your color, please.
I guess I'm obligated to choose yellow.
I mean, you're not obligated, but
Let's do it.
it's
Yeah, you are.
Asian kid picks yellow. Let's do it.
all right. 1 ranged, 2 ranged, 1 disrupt, 1 discard, special, blank. Elite point cost 13.
13. Okay, read the sides one more time, please.
1 gun, 2 gun, 1 disrupt, 1 discard, special, blank.
Disrupt, discard, special.
Disrupt, discard, special, blank. 13 elite cost.
13. Man, who has a disrupt and a discard for 13 points? Villain.
Yellow.
Yellow. They're a bad guy. It's not Sebulba because he's 12, I think. I got nothing. I'm gonna pass. What do we got?
Okay, the answer was Zuckus.
Oh, the Zuckster.
Take out your bucket.
Ooh.
Ah,
All right, Bob, choose your color, please.
Let's do Let's do yellow. I'm
Yellow.
gonna choose yellow for myself.
Yellow sounds good to me. All right. Let's go with. Let's see here. That's too obvious. Definitely can't pick that guy. Let's do this. This is. I feel like from here on out they're easy, but I mean we're here, right? 2 gun, 2 melee, 1 disrupt, $1 special, blank. Point cost 16.
So it's 1 melee.
Oh, two ranged, 2 melee, 1 disrupt, 1 money, special, blank, elite point cost 16.
Melee range, disrupt, resource. Special though?
Yeah, special.
Is that a man. I was gonna say Jabba, but I don't think he has any range sides.
Or melee sides.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's probably got none of that.
When you see Jabba the Hutt stab someone.
Oh, is that Boba?
It is Boba Fett.
Ooh, nice, Bob.
All right, round 2. Back to Mark. Mark, select your color, please.
Red.
Red. I like it. I like it. All right. Let's go with 1 indirect, 1 focus, 2 disrupt, $1 plus $1 blank. Elite point cost 11.
Repeat the sides.
1 indirect, 1 focus, 2 disrupt, $1 plus $1 blank. Elite cost 11.
Cheapy.
He's a cheapie.
Or she.
Or she.
Is it a he or she? Which one?
I felt like if you should know this. I mean, you've probably looked through your binder at these cheapy people and thought, who could I pair with Pelp in your life?
That guy doesn't make me nearly enough money.
I got nothing.
I'll give you one more hint since you missed the first time too. Okay, your hint is this is a prequels character.
Dolaca solo.
Is it Newt?
It is Newt Gunray.
Nice.
All right.
I can't get enough of that. I'm all about that. All right, moving over to Ryan. Ryan, go ahead.
Let's go blue.
Blue, yay, blue, blue, blue. I should just read you like the Night Sister zombie, no die sides.
Yeah.
Blank, 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 blank.
All right, blue. Blue's interesting. You got some tough choices in blue, to tell you the truth, because I mean we all know for the most part. I can't just read off like Snoke and expect you not to get it. So let's go with 1 gun,
You should do it.
2 gun, 1 indirect, 1 discard, $1 blank, 11 elite.
Loose.
That is loose. Good job.
Ryan, you're on fire,
Stop doing
man.
that if you guys don't
I
want
would
me.
not have known that if you weren't trying to make her a thing.
If you did do that, Bob, I would be upset. All right, back to Chris. Chris, call your color.
We'll go red.
Red, I like it. Red, I like it. All right, how about for some red action here?
Yep.
Okay, I got one.
Okay.
1 focus, 2 focus, 1 discard, 2 discard for $1, $1 blank. Elite point cost 13.
Oh, he's all over this.
This is way easy.
Yeah, way too easy.
I believe this is Wolf
This
Yularen.
is Wolf Yularen, and I
I had
I agree that it is too easy, but we're also running out of people that are only elite. So
For sure. Actually, especially since I've been trying to play that for the last 3 months.
all right, Bob, back to you.
Let's do blue.
I like it. Okay, Bob, here you go. 1 gun, 2 indirect, 1 disrupt, 1 discard, 1 resource, blank, elite point cost, 14.
Who's got a range for blue?
1
So it's 1 range,
indirect,
2
1
indirect.
discard, 1 disrupt, $1, blank, elite point cost, 14.
Ugh. Does this character see play?
Not really.
Jeez. I don't know. I was gonna say like the Force sensitive outcast, but I think she's 9.
The answer I was looking for was Old Daka.
Oh my god.
Daka.
Oh darn it! Yeah, she does have a range set. I forgot
All
about
right.
that.
Final round. Mark could tie Ryan, or Ryan could take a 3. If Ryan gets his right, he gets the win for sure. Chris can also tie Ryan, and Bob can too, because right now the score is Mark 1, Ryan 2, Chris 1, and Bob 1. Mark, select your color.
Blue.
Ooh, really monopolizing these blues. Should I just read him? Should I read him the fader die and see what he says?
Just read him the
Read him the
Palpatine.
Palpatine, yeah, right. All right, blue villain. We're running out of choices here. This is a cookie, but 1 melee, 2 melee, 3 for 1 melee, discard, resource, blank, elite point cost, 16.
And you said it was 1, 2, 3?
1, 2, 3 for 1, discard, resource, blank, elite cost, 16.
I believe that is the sexy assassin.
Which is
Asajj.
It is Asajj.
Nice.
All right,
Nicely
Ryan,
played.
choose your color.
Give me yellow for the
Yellow.
win.
You know I'm gonna pick something hard, right?
Yeah, that's
Let's
fine.
see.
He's looking at the list. It's okay.
Shut up.
Should I read Watto's sides? Yellow. Okay, let's see here, James. Oh man, this is tough because I feel like a lot of these are giveawayers, but you got to send it on somebody, and I'm not going to send it on the Corn Tracker. I've done that trick to you once. Okay.
I was waiting on
I
Corn
mean,
Tracker.
You probably were. But for the win, and I don't think there's any way around it, either one of these is going to be a cookie. Let's go with 1 gun, 2 gun, 1 stick, 1 disrupt, $1, blank, elite point cost, 14.
Dangar.
That is Dangar.
Yeah, no hesitation.
At this point, it's either like Val, and I know he expects that coming, and I can't read. It's not like I can read Jabba, the special Jabba. It's too obvious, and like Eden Voss is too
Yeah.
easy. So, all right, we're just gonna. Ryan is the champion. Chris, would you like to take your turn? And Bob, would you like to take your turn, or should we submit to the fact that Wags is the champion?
I suppose we can, I guess, let Ryan take the, what's it called? Idiots Array title for the night, you know?
Thank you.
All righty, that.
Jim, do you want us to give you one?
You have something pulled up on the DB?
Yeah, I can pull it up real quick. Hang on. Jim, yeah, you can go.
Can I?
You want
can I
Blue
pick
Hero?
Yeah. I want Blue Hero.
You want Blue Hero? Okay, you ready?
I don't want that villain trash.
Garbage.
I guess, yeah, we did do villain. So here
I
you go.
saw my whole binder, so for villain. So toss me a hero.
All right, hang on. Give me a second. I got to pull this up for you because I want to.
I love these little bonuses.
Yeah, these
Little
bonuses.
bonus
for you.
round for Jim.
All right, Jim.
I want 2 hey-heys in a row if I get it right.
Jim, are you ready?
Yeah.
1 melee, 2 melee, 2 shield, resource, blank.
1 melee, 2 melee, 2 shield, 2 shield, resource, blank. Oh my gosh, I don't think I've ever played this die though. It's like.
Do you want? Oh, I didn't give you the point cost. I'm sorry.
Let me get the point
Lead
cost.
point cost is 18.
He got it right. He got it
It's
right.
17.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's right. 17. Sorry,
Actually,
recently I read.
It's that Luke Skywalker.
Ooh, you don't get any hey-hays for that.
Oh,
You
dang
want to
it!
try again? You want to try again?
No, it's like when they play the name that Pokemon, and it obviously is Pikachu, and the guy goes, "It's a fairy," and it goes, "It's Pikachu," and the guy goes, So I stand by my answer. It's Old Man Luke.
Oh, sorry.
Who is it?
Qui-Gon. It's Qui-Gon, man.
All right, you bums. Mark, I want to thank you for being a part of the podcast and coming on and kind of being an idiot with us. It was awesome. Do you have any parting words before we wrap things up here?
Keep doing what you're doing. I love the YouTube videos. I love the chat, and thanks for having me on. And join the dark side, Jim.
Yeah, that's never going to happen. But
hate leads to anger.
Yeah.
Or anger leads to hate. However that goes. I won't do it.
All right. Well, on behalf of you guys, keep going. You guys are thanks.
Do the focus fire thing.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming
thanks
on,
a
Mark.
lot, man.
Congrats on the win. Oh, pseudo win.
All right, so on behalf of Chris, Bob, Mark, and Jim, this is Ryan with the Loth-Wolf Pack. Like I've said before, please check out our other videos. If you guys are bored and have 6 hours to spare, go take a look at our live stream from the Prime that was just on this past Saturday. I have an interesting matchup on there. Let me know. I have a Ewoks game. Let me know if I did anything wrong because I lost that game. So I'm interested to hear what you guys think. But
we're always trying to get better.
Yeah. Otherwise, leave some comments and some videos. Let us know what you guys want to see. But until next time, Loth-Wolf Pack out.